should tell her, make these close, yeah.
Next time you talk to her, you tell him what I said.
I've been hurt.
An arrest has been made in a triple homicide in Monroe. It happened around 3 a.m. on Gremont Street yesterday. 2 adult men and a 2-year-old child were found dead at the scene.
Famous rapper shot his best friend and 18-month-old baby over stolen dope. This is Jaboris Simpson, a 25-year-old father whose Instagram feed was filled with moments of pure joy. Pictures of him smiling, laughing, holding his precious 2-year-old daughter Jersey in his arms, her tiny hands wrapped around his neck. On October 28, 2025, both father and daughter would be found executed in their own home, alongside Jaboris's lifelong best friend, Jamal Bosley.
You done?
We been laughing about this shit, but nigga, we serious. Alright, look, y'all. Man, Big B having the debate over here. Do y'all think he's
bro, y'all ain't get you some money. I ain't lying. Throw the fuck. Matter of fact, so this nigga 10 them way get some bread. Throw the fuck, y'all ain't even trying to. Give me some money and take them.
In what authorities are calling one of the most brutal home invasions Monroe, Louisiana has ever witnessed. But before we uncover the shocking events that led to this massacre, let me take you back 4 days earlier, to October 24th, 2025, where a fight at a high school homecoming event would set off a chain of events ending in unimaginable tragedy, and will expose every single warning sign that could have prevented 3 innocent lives from being snuffed out like candles in the wind. The horror began at approximately 2:56 in the morning on October 28, 2025, when Monroe Police Department officers responded to reports of gunfire at an apartment complex in the 2000 block of Gremont Street. Monroe, Louisiana, a city of roughly 47,000 residents, nestled in Washita Parish, had seen its share of violence over the years, but nothing could have prepared first responders for the absolute carnage they were about to encounter. When officers burst through the door of that apartment, they discovered a scene so horrific, so utterly devastating, that even seasoned veterans of the force would later struggle to find words adequate to describe what they witnessed.
Around 3 a.m. yesterday, the Monroe Police Department responded to reports of a shooting on Gremont Street, close to South 20th Street in Monroe. When they arrived, they found the bodies of 27-year-old Jamal Bosley, 25-year-old Jaboris Simpson, and a 2-year-old little girl.
3 victims lay dead, each one shot execution style in the head. 25-year-old Jaboris Simpson, his 2-year-old daughter Jersey Simpson, a beautiful little girl now reduced to a tiny body on a blood-soaked floor.
Jersey, say hey.
Hey.
Look at Uncle Baby.
My iPad dead.
Your iPad dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks so innocent, but she bad.
It's daddy. It's baby. A baby is a daddy.
Yeah. Daddy.
My daddy, baby. My daddy, baby.
And 27-year-old Jamal Bosley, Jaboris's closest companion since childhood, the kind of friend who had been there through thick and thin, through every milestone and every struggle.
Go, man! I got you a help. Ooh, shit, Shanna. Ooh, damn, you might well go downstairs.
Shanna.
I feel like both of them can see. Shane can fucking see. No, I can't. Yes, you can. Jamal can see. Jamal's looking over the thing.
Bro, I cannot see.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The back door of the apartment had been violently kicked in, splintered wood and shattered locks bearing witness to the forceful entry. The entire residence had been ransacked. With a frenzied desperation, cabinets flung open, their contents scattered across countertops and floors, closets emptied and torn apart, drawers yanked out and overturned as the perpetrators searched for something with an urgency that bordered on madness. Investigators discovered shell casings and bullet fragments from 2 different calibers of firearms scattered throughout the crime scene, indicating that at least 2 shooters had been involved in this coordinated attack. But perhaps the most chilling detail, the one that truly reveals the cold-blooded nature of these killers, was this. Evidence showed that after the victims had already been shot and were lying helpless on the ground, the perpetrators fired additional rounds into their bodies. This was overkill in its most literal and horrifying sense. This was someone making certain that their victims would never draw breath again, never speak another word, never identify their attackers. Little Jersey was pronounced dead at the scene, her small body still and silent in the chaos. Paramedics rushed Jaboris and Jamal to a local hospital, working frantically, desperately trying every medical intervention at their disposal, but their efforts proved futile against the catastrophic injuries both men had sustained. Both were pronounced dead shortly after arrival, leaving behind devastated families and a community reeling in shock.
My name is Faith Johnson. My Uncle Jamal was so special. To me, he always made me smile and gave me hugs. I love my uncle, and I know he's in heaven watching. I always love you, Uncle Jamal. P.S. Where's my toy?
Jaboris Simpson had been more than just another statistic, more than just another name on a police report. He was a devoted father, the kind of dad who never missed an opportunity to capture precious moments with his daughter and share them with the world through social media. Friends and family members would later describe him as someone who lit up whenever Jersey entered a room, whose entire world revolved around providing the best possible life for his little girl. Jamal Bosley had been staying at the residence as a guest, a lifelong friend to Jaboris, someone who had been in his life since childhood. News reports and family statements consistently described him as Jaboris's best friend, emphasizing the platonic nature of their relationship, a brotherhood that had endured for decades, only to end in the most violent way imaginable. But who could commit such an atrocity? Who could look at a 2-year-old child and pull the trigger without hesitation, without remorse, without a shred of humanity?
Travis Payton was arrested this morning in connection with the crime. He is charged with first-degree murder, home invasion, and criminal conspiracy.
Thanks to an absolutely remarkable outpouring of community support and some truly exceptional police work, the wheels of justice began turning with astonishing speed. Within mere hours of discovering the bodies, less than 8 hours after the massacre had occurred, the Monroe Police Department made their first arrest. On October 29, 2025, 24-year-old Travis Tyrone Payton was taken into custody and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, home invasion, and criminal conspiracy. But Payton's arrest was only the beginning of a story that would expose just how broken the criminal justice system truly is.
Thanks to the relentless work by our officers and detectives and help from the public, we arrested 24-year-old Travis Payton. Payton is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, home invasion, and criminal conspiracy. Payton has 11 prior arrests and 3 convictions. He was sentenced to over 15 years but served just less than 3.
Travis Tyrone Payton was no stranger to law enforcement. He had accumulated 11 prior arrests and 3 criminal convictions throughout his relatively short life. But here's where the story becomes absolutely infuriating, where your blood should start boiling at the sheer injustice of it all. Payton had been sentenced to over 15 years in prison for his previous crimes, but had served less than 3 years before being released.
Payton was still on probation, and if he had served his sentence, he would still been in jail, unable to commit this crime that we're here for today.
If the system had actually kept him behind bars for his full sentence, if judges and parole boards had done their jobs properly, Jaboris Simpson would still be alive today, posting pictures of his daughter's milestones on social media. Little Jersey would still be learning new words, taking her first steps into a bright future. Jamal Bosley would still be sharing laughs with his best friend. The investigation into Peyton's involvement was bolstered by cold, hard technological evidence that placed him at the scene of the crime. But here's what really seals the deal on his guilt. His cell phone was powered off during the exact time frame when the murders occurred, then mysteriously turned back on shortly after the shootings were completed. This wasn't coincidence. This was the calculated action of someone who knew enough about modern forensics to try covering their tracks, someone who understood that cell phones ping towers and leave digital breadcrumbs, but who wasn't quite smart enough to realize that the sudden darkness of a phone signal during a murder creates its own kind of damning evidence.
On October 31st, 2025, police arrested a second suspect, 24-year-old Cameron James Kreiner, facing identical charges.
Well, police have arrested 24-year-old Cameron Kreiner. Now, this is the second arrest in Tuesday's homicide. They say he has an extensive criminal history. They say it includes domestic abuse, resisting an officer, and domestic abuse, child endangerment. Now, Travis Payton was also arrested. That happened on Wednesday.
3 counts of first-degree murder, home invasion, and criminal conspiracy. And if you thought Peyton's criminal history was disturbing, wait until you hear about Cameron Kreiner's rap sheet. Because this man is an absolute poster child for everything wrong with our revolving door criminal justice system. He had previously pleaded guilty to domestic abuse battery of a pregnant victim. Kreiner had also been convicted of resisting an officer, illegal possession of a firearm despite being legally prohibited from owning guns due to his prior convictions, false imprisonment, and child endangerment. For these crimes, Kreiner was sentenced to 3 years at hard labor. In 2021, his probation was revoked, presumably because he couldn't follow even the most basic conditions of his release. Cameron James Kreiner's projected release date from prison was July 29, 2025. That means he had been out of prison for exactly 3 months when this triple homicide occurred. Monroe Police Chief Vic Zordon stated during a press conference that drugs were involved in the incident and that retribution may have been a motivating factor, potentially linking the murders to a dispute over marijuana. Early investigative reports suggested the possibility of a drug deal gone catastrophically wrong, with the ransacked apartment indicating the killers were desperately searching for something, likely drugs or money related to drug transactions. This theory gained traction when investigators noted the systematic way every cabinet, every closet, every possible hiding place in that apartment had been torn apart. But not everyone accepted this narrative so readily, and what the victims' families had to say about the motive would throw an entirely different light on this already complicated and heartbreaking case. During an emotional press conference on October 30, 2025, Jaboris Simpson's mother, Latrice, and other family members vehemently disputed the police's drug-related narrative. Their version of events traced the motive back to October 24, 2025, just 4 days before the murders, to Richwood High School's homecoming event. According to the family's account, an altercation occurred at the homecoming event involving Jaboris Simpson and Jamal Bosley. The family claimed that during this confrontation, the future suspects, Peyton and Kreiner, were on the losing end of the fight, their egos bruised, their pride wounded in front of peers and community members. News reports confirmed that arrests were made at the Richwood High School homecoming event, lending credibility to the family's timeline. The family asserted that rather than letting the matter go, rather than walking away from a schoolyard scuffle, the suspects allegedly spent the next 4 days tracking down Jaboris and Jamal, hunting them with single-minded determination until they finally located them at the Grammont Street apartment. The discrepancy between the police narrative and the family's account highlights the complexities that often emerge in homicide investigations, especially in their early stages. No official confirmation has definitively tied the murders directly to a failed drug transaction, despite early speculative reports about marijuana disputes. The truth likely contains elements of both narratives. Perhaps drugs were involved, perhaps personal disputes were involved, perhaps both factors intertwined in ways that won't become fully clear until the trial. What remains absolutely certain is that 3 innocent people are dead, that a community is traumatized, and that 2 men with extensive criminal histories are now facing the possibility of spending the rest of their lives behind bars.
I just wanted everybody to know that everything that we have done so far is because of y'all. All the information from all of the loved ones out here in the community, everything that we did is because of y'all. And this shows y'all and us how well, if we work together, we can get so much more solved in the community.
The community's response to this tragedy has been nothing short of remarkable, demonstrating the power of collective action in the face of horrific violence. On October 29, 2025, at 6 p.m., a candlelight vigil drew scores of Monroe residents, family members, and local leaders to honor the victims. Participants lit candles that flickered in the evening darkness, shared prayers that rose up like incense, and released balloons, pink and blue. Colors chosen deliberately to honor the young child whose life had been stolen. City officials, including Mayor Friday Ellis and Police Chief Vic Zordon, attended the vigil, using the occasion to update the community on the investigation's progress and to personally thank those whose tips had led to Peyton's swift arrest.
The City of Monroe is here to support you 100%. We're so sorry for your loss, but we're so happy for the ones that stepped up and made a difference. And we want to thank this law enforcement agency, the Monroe PD, for their speedy and for their rapid response for such a tragic incident. Thank y'all so much for coming out, and just know that you're loved.
Mayor Friday Ellis specifically praised the Monroe Police Department's swift action, crediting investments made in the department since 2020 for building stronger bonds between law enforcement and the community.
The swift action that you took, this proper training that you've all had, your instincts are top notch. And I'm proud to stand here as your mayor to say thank you for what you do every day. Chief Zordon, thank you. Thank you for being the leader that men and women want to follow. And you carrying your jobs out professionally.
This relationship, forged through years of conscious effort and community engagement, proved crucial in solving the case so rapidly. Citizens felt comfortable coming forward with information, providing tips that helped investigators piece together what happened and identify suspects with remarkable speed. On November 2nd, 2025, Jaboris and Jersey Simpson were laid to rest together in a shared casket, father and daughter united in death as they had been in life. Their photographs adorning the casket as mourners filed past, many unable to control their tears at the sight. Monroe Civic Center hosted Jamal Bosley's funeral service on November 8, 2025, drawing nearly 700 attendees, including clergy members and city council members, all gathering to pay their respects to a life cut tragically short. Throughout this process, officials have been adamant about combating misinformation and protecting the integrity of the investigation. Chief Zordon repeatedly urged the public to refrain from speculation or sharing unverified information, especially on social media, warning that such actions could seriously impede the ability to bring all involved parties to justice. Authorities also warned against fake fundraisers that cropped up on social media, exploitative scams designed to prey on the community's goodwill and desire to help the grieving families.
We urge the public, do not take justice into your own hands. More violence is not the answer. This is an active investigation. Sharing speculation and inaccurate information, especially online, can seriously impede our ability to bring all involved to justice.
How many more tragedies like this one need to occur before we fundamentally rethink how we handle violent offenders? How many more children need to die before we acknowledge that early release programs and lenient sentencing might be doing more harm than good when it comes to truly dangerous individuals?
Period.
Let me know what you think in the comment section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.